What is the FIRE movement? FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. It is a movement that started a while ago now that really promotes financial independence and retiring early. Within the FIRE movement, there are multiple different subcategories, so I wanted to go over those with you today and the pros and cons of each. So, first off, there is Lean Fire. Now, the premise of this one is to live a pretty minimalistic life and save everything you can to retire as early as possible. With Lean Fire, it is often common to keep your expenses very, very low, to prioritize investing anything that you can in order to hit your financial independence number. Now, a huge pro about Lean Fire is that I think anybody can really do this one or at least get kind of close in some way. For example, mostly anyone can move to a cheaper location and minimize their lifestyle, whether that's not going out at all or eating pretty cheap foods. A lot of people can really just adjust their lifestyle to get the minimum basics in their life. Now, the con of this one is that you do have to live a pretty minimalistic life. And not that minimalism's bad or anything like that, but it is pretty minimalistic usually, and it's just the bare necessities of your life. Personally, I think that would be really hard to do because a lot of the things that you want to do in the world often require money, so I think that makes this one a lot harder. Okay, so next let's talk about Fat Fire. Now, the idea behind Fat Fire is that you save as much money as you need to continue living an extravagant lifestyle or to start living an extravagant lifestyle. Basically, you need to save a lot more than you would with Lean Fire because your lifestyle is going to be a lot more inflated. Now, the con about this one is that it might take a bit longer because you're waiting for a bigger number. But the pro of this one is that you could live a more extravagant life and don't have to be so restrained to, say, Lean Fire living styles. Now, next, there is Coast Fire. So, Coast Fire is where you continue contributing to your retirement accounts up to a certain point that would make you able to retire at a certain age, whether that's 65 or whatever age you put. And then once you hit this number, then you don't have to save for retirement anymore, assuming that you keep that same retirement age in when you are ready to retire. So this one also has its pros and cons, and it is very flexible depending on when you are looking to retire. Now, a con about this strategy could be that what you want might change. It's hard to know what you're going to want to do in 10 years. So that is just something to keep in mind with this strategy. A pro of this is that since you are front loading your investments, it is not something that you'd have to worry about then as you get later in your life for retirement. So it's kind of so again, it has its pros and cons, and everybody's age and time period is going to be different and specific to you. So this one again is very personal. Lastly, there is Barista Fire. Now, Barista Fire is when you hit some sort of target number and you can then take a different job that's maybe more fun, like being a barista. By having some sort of job like this, you are subsidizing some of your income with the job, or maybe you have some health benefits or other benefits as part of the job. The pro about this one is it allows you to retire earlier than you normally would be able to by just continuing your normal day job. So this kind of allows you to take a step back and maybe do something that you really want to do because you have enough ready to go for retirement that you don't necessarily need to continue with your normal day job. And this gives you the freedom to kind of do something that you want. And then, of course, the con to this is that you do have to continue working in some capacity, which to some people might not be appealing, but it can be a good alternative if you do just want to retire as early as possible. Okay, so those are pretty much the major categories in the FIRE movement as of now. These are always changing and evolving. So those are just some of the ones out there. Let me know which one's your favorite. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.